How do pro runners train? How do they manage intensity without burning out? And how can they prepare their body to peak perfectly? The secret is something called periodization, a training method that transforms random mileage into a structured plan designed for maximum performance. Today, I'll break down how it works and how you can use it to run faster, smarter, and healthier. Before we talk about the actual periodization, we need to know Dr. Jack Daniels. He is known as the best running coach on the planet, and his theory is significantly influential to modern endurance training. He developed the idea of EMTIR, which is an important part of periodization since we want to precisely control the intensity of our training. He also developed an index called VDOT. It can be comprehended as run level. It tells you how fast you can run for every distance and how fast you should run for training. But usually, people's VDOT varies for different distances. Okay, now you know the basic knowledge. You may have seen some YouTubers be giving you the training plan of a single week, or you have seen Eliud Kipchoge's 1 week of training. But the thing is, if you want to improve most efficiently, you need to train for different aspects or abilities at different times. And every week of training is different. Dr. Daniels defined the training period of 16 to 20 weeks as the macro cycle, which covers from the start of your preparation to the day of your important race. A typical macro cycle contains 4 phases. Dr. Daniels just named them from phase 1 to 4, and they are often called base phase, build phase, peak phase, and deload phase. They might sound a little abstract, but according to my understanding and observation of Dr. Daniels' theory, I renamed them so it seems more clear and more accurate. They're aerobic base phase, speed accumulation phase, specification conversion phase, and competition phase. After these, we need to know an important letter, Q. Q stands for quality and represent the intense training sessions that are keys to improve your running time. Quality sessions include long runs, even they're typically at E-pace, M-pace workouts. Note that they're not commonly used and recommended by Dr. Jack Daniels. Threshold training, VO2 max workouts, and repetition workouts. Now let's start from aerobic base phase. No matter your training specification is 800 meters or 10,000 meters, phase 1 is approximately the same. There are 3 types of running that you would use in this phase. They are easy runs, light hill sprints, and strides. Even this phase is just about building the aerobic base. It still has 3 quality sessions. Let's take a look at the suggested training plan of a 800-meter runner that runs 40 miles per week. The first quality is long run at E-pace for the first 3 weeks, and he changes that to M-pace in the next 3 weeks. Q2 and Q3 are basically the same, some easy runs with 8 to 10 strides, just to make sure you don't lose your speed while building up your aerobic base. But you need to make sure that your strides are not sprints. They're not like sprinters doing 100 meter or 200 meter all out. You need to make sure you're feeling relaxed and comfortable and is able to maintain a good form. Now, some of you might say, I didn't stop my regular training before I start the long period. Phase 1 just sounds not necessary. Do I still need to build up my aerobic base? The answer is no. Dr. Daniels suggests that if you feel like the training you did before is giving you enough base, you can start directly from phase 2. Phase 1 is necessary for those runners who pause their training. After you have the base, we are going to transition into speed accumulation phase. This is where things get different for different specification. But don't worry, I'll help you to understand everything. Let's start from 800 specification. Q1 is still a long run for every week, but Q2 starts getting harder than what you did in phase 1. And Q3 is similar to Q2. We noticed that both Q2 and Q3 of an 800 runner are repetition workouts, and the distances vary from 200 meter to 600 meter. The total distance of a single workout gradually builds up in this phase. For 15 to 3200 runner, Q1, as always, is a long run, which is about 25% of your weekly mileage. Q2 and Q3 are also repetition workouts. 5K and 10K runners have a slightly different speed accumulation phase. Q2 is still pure repetition workout, but Q3 is a little bit more complicated. For every 3 weeks, the first 2 weeks you need to do mixed RT workouts, and the third week is a VO2 max workout. After the previous 2 phases, you have improved a lot, but you need to convert the base that you accumulated into the ability that is actually helpful to your specification. Some runners may improve very slowly, even they run a lot. This is very likely to be caused by the lack of specification. Because our aerobic and anaerobic system have different percentage of participation in different distances, so it makes the specification training look very different. But you can simply comprehend specification training as running at a pace that is slightly faster than your race pace. This also means that phase 3 would be the most difficult phase in your macro cycle. We are still starting from 800 runners. For Q1, every 2 weeks is a cycle, and you need to do long run for the first week and threshold training for the second. Q2 is a mixed workout of I, R, and fast reps, but you're focusing more on I. People might think that I feel like running an 800 race is completely anaerobic. What does it have to do with my VO2 max? Actually, your aerobic system provides 60 to 70% of the energy during an 800 race, so you still need I training, just not as much as 1500 and 5K runners. Q3 would be the most intense and important workout of the week. This is where you develop the actual specification. The workout usually starts with a couple of sets of repetition and ends with fast reps, which is close to your 800 race pace. For 1500 to 3200 runners, Q1 alternates between long run and pure repetition. Q2 alternates between repetition and VO2 max. Q3 is a little bit complicated, which you do threshold training for even weeks, and for odd weeks, you do mixed IR workouts. For 5K and 10K runners, the structure seems easier. Q1 alternates between E-pace long runs and M-pace long runs. Q2 is always VO2 max, and Q3 alternates between T and mixed TR workouts. But the most difficult thing of 5K or 10K structure is that Q2 and Q3 are done in 2 consecutive days. Dr. Daniels states that he made this arrangement just to prevent runners from burning out in the VO2 max training. They would think, oh, I still have a threshold workout tomorrow, so I can't do all out for VO2 max. But we really need to be careful with that. If you feel fatigue or super sore after the day of VO2 max workout, just adjust your schedule and take maybe 1 to 2 days easy in between the 2 quality sessions. The most important thing is to not get injured and consistently build up. After we make it through the most difficult phase, we are transitioning into race preparation. 800 runners will do long runs only for their Q1, mixed RT workouts for Q2, and fast reps for Q3. From 2 weeks before a race, you will need to start decreasing your volume of training in order to reach your peak at the day of your race. For 15 to 3200 runners, Q1 is long run for 2 weeks, mixed RT, long run, and mixed RT and long run. Q2 is 2 weeks of R, then TR mixed, R and TR mixed for the last 2 weeks. Q3 is TR, R, TR, TR, IR, and race. For 5K and 10K runners, Q1 is all long runs. Q2 is threshold. The volume depends on whether you have a race or not. If you have a race, the race is Q3. If not, you need to do a VO2 max workout as your Q3. But just to make sure that the quality session before every race is a threshold workout instead of a VO2 max. Just a reminder that you don't need to do Q2 and Q3 in 2 consecutive days in phase 4. Now we have finished talking about periodization itself, but there are some details that you need to be careful with. First, you probably noticed that I've only talked about 3 days of training in a week. And what should you do in the rest? Dr. Daniels just named the rest of them easy days. We have 2 options for easy days, which are doing an easy run or just take an off day. My suggestion are that you take 1 off day every week, and the rest are just easy runs. The most ideal situation is that you never run more than 6 consecutive days. Despite easy days, we also have easy weeks. We usually call them deload weeks or taper weeks. Taper weeks are a significant part of fatigue management and is really helpful with preventing overtraining and injuries. You might be confused that if you're building up your mileage, how are you going to have a low mileage week during your macro cycle? Your mileage just needs to look like this. For example, you run 3 weeks of 35, 40, and 45 miles. At the 4th week, you go back to 40 miles again, and you keep rolling forward. In the other case, you're not increasing your mileage, which means your normal weekly mileage stays the same throughout your macro cycle, but it doesn't mean you're going to run like this. Connor Mance gave us a perfect example of how you should control your training volume. Every 3 weeks, he runs a steady mileage, and he takes the 4th week as a taper week. These are the basic things you need to know about fatigue management. And there is one more little thing. Before each quality session, you're supposed to do 10 to 30 minutes of easy run, dynamic stretch, and drills as warm-up. Similarly, after you're done with the workouts, you need to do some easy runs and use some recovery methods such as stretching and foam rolling. But after the intense workouts, your muscles are damaged at microscopic scale, so you're not recommended to do foam rolling immediately after running. Icing would be a good option for you, and you can do foam rolling or massage a few hours after running. Alright guys, this is all about today's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to press the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.